How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Pocahontas. Elizabeth Warren running for president in 2020 against Trump, obviously. Now, this announcement is not really a surprise to me. I figured she'd be running. There are a few others that will probably announce pretty soon. I think the field this time of 2020 is going to be pretty crowded. I'll talk about those who I think may run in a little bit. But Elizabeth Warren is no surprise. Almost 70 years old. Before I even get into Elizabeth Warren and the other people, what's up with all these really old people trying to become the president on the Democrat side? I don't understand. You had Barack Obama, who's still not even 60 yet, after being in office for 2 terms. You had him in there, a young, handsome black guy, smooth as silk, and you counter that to try and defeat Trump, a worldwide icon, with Elizabeth Warren, a fake Indian. And that is what I really want to talk about for the majority of the video, at least for now, is the elephant in the room, which is obviously the fake Indian heritage. It's fun to make jokes at talking about, does she have more than 1,024th of a chance to become the president? What is she going to call herself when she's in there? Is it going to be the president? Is it going to be chief spreading bull? What is it really going to be? It's fun to make jokes like that, but it's really serious because when she was a professor at Harvard, she was claiming this Indian ancestry, and Harvard put her out there as a so-called person of color, a minority. And who knows what kind of benefits she was able to get by claiming this so-called minority status. She is by no means an Indian. She's more white than the average white person in America, maybe even more white than the average white person in Europe. Overwhelmingly white. And it's okay to be white, don't get it twisted. But what it's not okay to do is to lie about your ancestry. If you're going to claim to be Native American and use that for your college admission, for your resume to say, oh, I'm a person of color, and you're not quite sure, because when you look in the mirror, you can't see Pocahontas. You can't see Cherokee Nation. You can't see anything other than a European. So if you think there's some kind of Indian ancestry there, maybe you do a DNA test. Maybe you do a little bit of background checks, investigation to see what's going on, to find some proof about what you claim to be. That might make some sense. She has already proven herself to not be truthful from that. That's the biggest thing right there, because it wasn't like, oh, it was just one thing. I might have, I thought maybe I was Native American. I told somebody and it kind of got out of control. Nah, you were basing a large part of your career, a large part of your life, a large part of your identity on this whole concept of thinking that you were a Native American. And also, you had a video that you put out, and I'll place that in the box below if you want to check it out for yourself, in which you're trying to come off as like this normal person, regular, everyday Jane, talking about your mom and your dad. In that commercial, it didn't make any sense. You're talking about your dad had an injury that prevented him from being able to work, but then you said he wound up being a janitor. So which one is it? I don't really know. Maybe you didn't really mean he couldn't work literally, or you didn't mean he couldn't work ever again. Maybe he got injured and couldn't work for a period of time, and your mom went out to Sears and got a job to support the family for a brief period of time. But already right there, I'm seeing some holes in your story, aside from the whole fake Native American thing. But for now, I digress. To get back on topic, you put out that video, but then you have this live Instagram or Facebook video, whatever that was, trying to be like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who, in my opinion, honestly, probably has the best chance to become the president out of anybody that is really being talked about. But I'll get to that in a moment. You're trying to copy her. You have a beer in your hand and you're trying to open it. You using your bare hands. Look, I don't even drink, so I'm not really sure if beer typically comes in the twist off cap. Usually, if you got beer in the bottle, you probably need a bottle opener. But hey, you got to be cool for the kids. You got to be flashing on the gram. So I guess it doesn't really matter, right? As long as you just have it in your hand, you might not even open it, but it is what it is. But moving right along, I'm not surprised here. You're 70 years old. I don't really understand why the Democrats can't get anybody that's a little bit younger. Man, they're talking about putting Hillary Clinton back out there. I mean, if ever there were a real life personification of the main character of Weekend at Bernie's, it'd be Hillary Clinton. I mean, she was literally being dragged along in certain parts of the campaign during the 2016 cycle. How was she going to be 4 years older and fare any better against the same guy who she lost against, who is now the incumbent? The incumbents almost never lose. So what is the purpose in running again? Is it to simply raise money for the DNC? Do you owe them a favor? I don't really know, but moving right along. Hillary Clinton is 1 year younger than Trump, but she's like 1,000 years older in dog years because of all the evil she has done. In my opinion, is weighing on her spirit, is weighing on her age. So I don't know how she's alive right now. Maybe it's some kind of trickery. She could be a hologram like Tupac during the awards a few years ago, but whatever the case is, you got Hillary Clinton. I think she's 71. Elizabeth Warren will be 70 next year. You have creepy Joe Biden, who is 74. They're talking about he's going to run. How are you going to run, Joe Biden? The elephant in the room with you is obviously how inappropriate you are with women. And during the whole Me Too movement, it'd be easy just to push you out there as some kind of predator or creep. I mean, there was no evidence against Brett Kavanaugh, and then the media ran this whole big campaign against him. But those of us on the net, we could run the meme campaign against Joe with real clips. It won't be no propaganda or nothing like that. It'll be real clips. They're trying to cut down on meme usage. They're saying it's improperly impacting the election. But in the case of Joe Biden, it'll be real clips. We can just pull out and say, here, look at this. Isn't this inappropriate? Would you want this guy to be around your daughter, around your wife, around your sister? I doubt it. Moving right along, they're talking about bringing Bernie Sanders back out there. He's 76 years old. Matter of fact, pardon me. He's 78 years old. If he was to be elected, he would be 80 years old in his very first year. What are we doing? These people are way too old. I'm not an elder phobic. I'm just saying, if you're going to be the president, you need to be lively. You know, you can't be kind of like geriatric, 1 foot in a nursing home. You understand? You got to be out there, really be moving and grooving. At that age, you need to be retiring, enjoying your grandkids, your twilight years. You don't need to be out there in the campaign, trying to do rallies back to back. It's just not something that you're able to do. I'm surprised Trump at his age is able to do it. But you're talking about somebody that's 8 years older or 6 years older, and Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden is like, what, 2 or 3 years older? At a certain point in time, Father Time was undefeated. Before I get to the young folks, Oprah might run. Now, people have asked her, are you going to run? Are you going to run? She said, no, I don't want to do it. Is that and the third? But I think that Oprah and or Michelle Obama will have a better chance than any of the aforementioned people. Your Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, creepy Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, Santa Claus, a.k.a. Bernie Sanders. They have more of a chance than any of them based on identity alone and also popularity. Oprah is a household name, and Michelle Obama is still very popular from the Obama administration years. And she has all the little check marks. A woman, black, been in office, not as the actual politician, but she's been there technically due to being the first lady married to the actual president, Barack Obama. So I think Oprah and Michelle have a chance. Then you have Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who in my opinion has the best chance because she's a young, kind of pretty a little bit. I'm using quotation marks there. People like to talk about her, whether positive or negative. And at a certain point, all publicity is good publicity if you're trying to get your name out there and become somebody. And she's doing Instagram, she's doing Facebook. Everybody's noticing what's going on with her. So I think if you put money behind her and a competent, halfway competent vice president, she would do better than any of the older people that I mentioned. You also have Beto O'Rourke, who got on stage and did the Howard Dean scream, but he has the same kind of qualities that Barack Obama had in 2008 when he was able to defeat Hillary Clinton and take the whole world by storm, really, with the hope and change. Now, I don't know if it's far enough away from Barack Obama's years to elect a guy like that, because people got burned by Obama. Maybe he'll do better in 2024. He's in Congress right now. If he stays in office, stays out there, does speaking engagements, he may be able to make a run. Now, the DNC wants to still operate on the whole machine thing, but that ain't going to work anymore. They want to put Kamala Harris and Cory Booker out there as the front runners for the Democrat nominee, but they don't have the juice. Cory Booker is a strange person, could be a homosexual. Nothing wrong with that, but he is not out of the closet if he is. I'm not saying that he is. I'm not trying to out the dude, but if he is, he's not outside of the closet, which could be a problem because now you're coming off as deceptive. Kamala Harris has skeletons in her closet as well, dealing with the black community and her transgressions against them, although she claims to be black, which we put into question as well. What is your actual ethnicity? Not as bad as Pocahontas, but there's still some questioning there. So that'll pretty much wrap it on up. Who do you think is going to be the front runner for president in 2020 on the Democrat side, or the nominee? Because I don't think anybody's going to beat Donald Trump, but maybe you do. Who's going to be the front runner? Is it going to be Pocahontas? Is it going to be AOC? Is it going to be Creepy Joe? Is it going to be Oprah? Do you think that Trump can be defeated in 2020? Like I said, the incumbent is almost never defeated because it's easy just to go vote for the guy that's in there right now. You like him, and then you could vote down ballot for Republicans as well. What would be the result of the 2020 election? And does Miss Warren, a.k.a. Pocahontas, a.k.a. Chief Sitting Bull, have a more than 1,024th chance in becoming the next president? Whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.